We're stuck. Lotus, this way. Follow Enzo. I guess we've always done it in the springtime. Oh yeah, it's really not. They usually keep it pretty clear. I don't know, Duke Energy? Yeah, they do. Because they have to be able to get to the gas line. That's why this is like this. Yeah, I've never been back here with it this high. No, you can. It goes all the way to the road. Yeah, I don't know. This is
not very clear.
This is not good.
It's not a trail at all.
No, it's really not. Wow. Did you see him jump?
No.
I don't know.
Did he do it?
I don't know. This is like way thicker than normal, and like they're getting kind of covered. I don't know.
Covered in what?
Like grass and stuff. Like.
Enzo! Oh, we got the stuff on him. Get those off.
Come here, Enzo. That's probably what it was. Enzo, come here. Oh yeah, that's what it is. That's why he jumped. Oh yeah.
Gosh, Enzo.
Where did he get that at? In the trail?
Oh.
That's really bad, actually.
I know. That's what I said. Oh my gosh. Ow, ow. Lotus has them too. You guys got in the Breyers. Breyers are not good for your fur. Oh my gosh. That's gonna get matted. Oh my gosh, they're all over his collar and up here. Because if that was down here, like this is all the way down underneath of his second coat. Like, we're not gonna be able to get those out. I feel like we need to go back and have a normal walk.
Yep.
Like, look at that big patch there by his neck.
Yeah, I know, let's see.
I'm never gonna get those out though. Like, you don't understand. Like, they're matted in there.
We can brush them out. Lotus, where are you going?
Where is he?
All right, I'm not sure. Because they're on my legs too. He got one of those, like, on his armpit a long time ago and, like, freaked out.
Yeah. He's got a whole thing of it on his tail now.
Yeah, so they're getting them down here somewhere.
Yeah, they need to stay on the trail though, like on the piece that we're walking.
Come on, Lotus. You're gonna disappear. Oh. Really? You just ran into a tree and you don't even care. That's a hit and run.
Seriously?
Like, dude, you're, I don't even know. Look at him. He's all the way up there now. What's he doing now? You got it too?
Probably from Enzo though.
Oh, here's some of them right here for sure. So this is probably where they got some. But yeah, I think they got most of them down there in the tall grass. Yeah, it's never been that tall when we've gone down there. For the record, her idea.
Well, you didn't say it was going to be overgrown.
It never has been. What you got on your arm there? Here. There you go. All gone. Oh, let me get this bamboo now. Oh, if that one's too big, you get that one. Enzo, I don't think that's gonna fit, buddy. Come on, let's go ahead and finish this. Here, I'll get it for you. Here you go, Enzo. There you go. There you go. Oh man, they're all over me.
Oh my gosh, they're all over. I think we need to immediately go home. And then fix that and then come back for a walk. I'm trying to help you. It's on the underneath of his arm again.
Alright.
Oh my gosh, it's on the moat.
It's everywhere. Oh, here. Here, let's just take that off. Yeah. I know, buddy. Come on, we're gonna go home and get it. Come on. Lotus, unfazed.
Well, he doesn't, he doesn't feel anything. That's what I'm
He's got one sticking off of him, look. On his right ear there. Look, there it is. He's got two of them sticking off, like two branches. Lotus, come here. Lotus. Lotus.
They're all over.
You got them all over. Look. Oh my gosh. You don't even care. Enzo. Then he's like, oh, it's a tennis ball. I don't like those. Oh, you gonna play a tennis ball? Oh, you got the impatience? You ready to start the video? Oh, you got the head tilts? Okay, we can start. Good morning, YouTube. My name is Will. This is Lotus. Lotus, say hi. Well, say hi. No, you playing shadow games already? That is Enzo. Welcome to That Enzo and Lotus YouTube channel. You can also follow them on Instagram. Oh, go potty, go boy. This channel is dedicated to the pups and German Shepherd related content. Oh, got stick. Is that good stick? In today's video, we are going to discuss 10 ways to know if you are ready to have a German Shepherd puppy, or really any puppy for that matter. But first, I want to say that this video was suggested by one of you. Many of our videos are done that way. So if you guys have a video suggestion, definitely comment below and we'll try to make it happen. One of the things that I realized that I really haven't done is properly introduce you guys to Enzo and Lotus. I mean, I introduce you guys all the time. I haven't really given a lot of like details. So Lotus's nickname is Little One, and it may be misleading on film, but Lotus is actually almost about 75 pounds. He may not seem that big because Enzo is about 105 pounds. So even to us, a lot of times I forget how big Lotus is until I see other dogs sometimes and realize that Lotus really isn't that small either. It's just I'm so accustomed to seeing him next to Enzo. Enzo turned 3 about 2 months ago. Lotus turned 1 about 2 months ago. And if you can't tell by looking at them, while they are both German Shepherd breeds, they are not brothers. But they act like it. And yes, I did say brothers because Lotus is in fact a boy, not a girl. I realize now there is a common flower known as the lotus. Didn't really think about that with the name. He is named after the Lotus car. Kind of got like a whole car theme going with our pets. All right, so before we get into the list, anything you see with the pups, we always keep those linked below. So if you want to see any of the stuff that we're using on a day-to-day basis, you can do that. So number 1, you've done your research. Now, chances are if you are watching a video like this, you're either A, you already have the pup and you're watching this hoping you got the answers right before you did it, which we've all been there, or B, you're looking to get a pup, so that's good. You're doing your research ahead of time. You're learning the commitments. Every breed is going to be different. German Shepherds have their own things, but any dog is going to be a massive time, financial, life commitment. There were so many things I didn't know. I mean, I'd had dogs growing up, and I had done some work with puppies. I knew what a German Shepherd was, but that was about it, honestly. I didn't know a whole lot. You know, I didn't know things about like hip dysplasia or supplements or playing with their paws and their ears and stuff when they're young and feeding them in their crate. So many things that I didn't know. And if you want to know a lot of that stuff, I have a video that we did a couple weeks ago that you can watch and see some of that stuff. But there was just so many things that I had no idea. You definitely want to be prepared because somebody once told me every puppy is trained. There's always training going on between you and your puppy. It's your decision whether or not you're going to train the puppy or the puppy's going to train you, and you're going to adjust your life. With us, we wanted to train the puppy. Now, you're still going to obviously have to make adjustments, but they're going to either teach you habits or vice versa. So you want to start strong from day 1. Number 2, if that sounds like a lot of work for you to do in number 1, all the research, well, be prepared because the number 2 thing is time. They are a huge time consumption. I used to think I was busy before I had pups, and I imagine this is a similar feeling that parents go through with kids. You think, oh my gosh, how could I ever do that? And, you know, taking them to the park, taking them to the vet, all this other stuff. And I used to feel like I was busy beforehand. And really, most people, you just find ways to be more efficient, you know. But it's going to be rough at first, I'm not going to lie. Even when we got Lotus, I thought when we got Lotus, it was going to be so much easier. And it was, but it was still hard. Like, my work productivity just deteriorated significantly for several weeks. Anyways, and speaking of time doesn't stop when the weather's not pleasant. We live in the Midwest. We get all 4 seasons, sometimes in the same day, and they don't care. Rain, shine, snow, cold, hot, they still need exercise. So you got to make adjustments. When it's really hot out, we're getting up early and going to the park. When it's really cold out, we're waiting later till the sun's up so there's a little bit more warmth. When it's really hot out, there's lots of little trips. And when it's really cold out, there's lots of little trips because they can't be out in the hot or the extreme colds for too long. So there's a lot of adjustments that you have to make. Number 3, I'm not a morning person. People often think I am because I get up early. I am actually not a morning person. Every morning is a battle for me, but I fight it. I win it most days. I have yet to meet a pup that wasn't a morning pup. All pups are morning pups. They right up and at 'em. Pups pee a lot. Let's just be honest. In a given day, you know, you get a pup. A good reputable breeder isn't going to let you take a pup home before about 8 weeks, which means they can go a couple hours between pee breaks, honestly, unless they happen to just sleep solid through it. With our pups, they go to sleep. When they wake up, it's right out the pee. So, as I mentioned before, that productivity sank for me because I was going out to take him to potty like every 2 hours. I mean, even Enzo, after a while, you know, at first Enzo was like, oh, we're going outside again, this is great. After like a couple of weeks of that, Enzo would half the time just hang out at the door like, no, I don't need to pee. I've peed like 9 times today. I'm good. You guys go ahead. And if you think a puppy is going to sleep for 8 hours at night, you are sadly mistaken. They are not. And no, puppy pads are not the answer. You have to get up. Now, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of details about how you should do that. I have another video about getting a German Shepherd puppy. You can watch that where I go over some tips and stuff. But just know that you're going to lose some sleep. Just be prepared. Number 4. Just like with a baby, you got to puppy proof. So your house, your apartment, your condo, it doesn't matter. Wherever you live, you have to puppy proof indoor and out. Now, unlike with a baby where most of the baby proofing has to do with the baby not hurting itself, there's some of that true with a puppy, but a lot of it is making sure A, they don't hurt your stuff, and B, they don't develop bad habits. So what I mean by that is you should never have an issue where your puppy thinks it's okay to chew on your shoes, for example, because your shoes should never be left out with a puppy in the house. Lotus is a year old, Enzo's 3 years old. I could leave my shoes. I could take every pair of shoes I have and then all the shoes my wife has. This would take me a while, but I could get them all into the bedroom at night and go to sleep. And when I wake up, they will all just be sitting there because neither one of them is going to chew on a shoe. If the urge struck them in the middle of the night to chew something, the shoe is the furthest thing from their mind. They're going to go get one of their toys or something. But a puppy, it's first come, first serve. They're all about convenience. Puppies like to be efficient. They want to chew now, they want to chew something close, and they want to do it a lot. So if a shoe is close, fine. If there's a shirt close, that works too. If there's a pillow on the ground, I'll chew that as well. Lotus, did you ever chew a pillow? Say no, because you didn't leave no pillows on the ground. How about you, Enzo? You ever chew a pillow? No? Yeah, and that remote wasn't cheap either. Freaking temper tantrum. Again, I don't want to go into a lot of details about like puppy training or anything. I go into some of this in the previous video, but baby gates are a must. Doesn't matter how big your house or apartment is, if you have more than one room, you need to section your house off. And frankly, if you have big rooms, you need to section it off. Now, like our living room with Enzo, it's not that big, so we just sectioned off the living room. But like with Lotus, we spent most of the time in the basement, and while it's not big, it's big enough to where it's too big for him. So when he was real young, I sectioned it off. One, it keeps him safe in case there's something I've forgotten to leave out or put away or whatever. But more than that is it's all about den training and potty training. A puppy is much less likely to have an accident where they consider their home and where they sleep. It's also good to stick to like 1 or 2 rooms and slowly expand. Wherever these areas happen to be, make sure there are no rugs down. Put all those away, so if they do have an accident, at least it's not on your rug if you have them. If you have a section of your house that's tile or hardwood or something, that would obviously be ideal. That's not always the case. So if you're dealing with carpet, I don't know, maybe you want to put a cheap rug down. I don't know, in that case. You're going to want to put things like that, wires. So nowadays, TVs, sound bars, all that stuff, make sure all the wires are tucked away, that they're not going to get a hold of them. Cover any outlets you have, trash cans, put those away, cover them. Thing is with puppies is you want to set them up to succeed. You don't want to make life hard. Now, don't get me wrong, with Enzo and Lotus, if they're doing a behavior that I want to correct, then there are times where we will set up quote unquote a trap, essentially to see if they will do the bad behavior. We can catch it, we can correct it. When you have a 2-month-old, 3, 4, 5-month-old puppy, no, you don't want to be setting them up to learn lessons. You want to set them up to succeed. So if you don't want them to chew on shoes, make sure there are no shoes around. You don't want them getting in your trash can, make sure they can't get in the trash can. Make it so they can't fail. Make sure there's plenty of toys for them to chew on instead. They got to have something. You can't just put your shoes away and then leave them with nothing, which is also why we always suggest having multiple things, because Lotus likes to chew harder things like antlers and harder toy bones. Enzo actually likes to chew softer things like soft toys and things. They'll both chew both, but they have a preference. So find out what your dog's preference is by testing. We had to move inside where it's a little bit cooler for both the pups and the camera. Seriously, Lotus. Now you're gonna run with Flamingo. Oh, you drop it. Wow. See, that's not Lotus's ball. That's not Enzo's ball. That's Lotus's ball. Enzo's doing that because he wants Lotus. Yep. He wanted to instigate. Did you instigate? Oh, now he got his own ball. Would you give him a distraction so then you could get yours? All right, number 5. This is kind of an overarching theme of this, but be honest with yourself. If you seriously sit down and think about your life and how well you're doing, are you struggling to meet commitments and everything as it is now? It may not be the best time. We waited till we had a house. With a breed like this, I would generally suggest a similar thing. Not that you couldn't do it. And if something were to happen and we had to move out and go into an apartment, it's not like I'm going to get rid of them or anything like that. And we go to the park every day, so that part is fine. It's just, they're big dogs. It's not that they need to be able to run around in your house. It's more that they take up a lot of space. I mean, they've got their cots. They've got their crates. They've got toys on toys on toys. And yeah, when desperation calls for it, yeah, we play inside to a degree and stuff. But also make sure, as far as your life goes, as far as like time and stuff, I think back to different times in my life, like when I was in school. That would be hard. Lotus just knocked the camera. Full-time job type people and going to school and everything, that would be super busy. If you just had a kid, probably not a good time to also include a puppy. If you're in the medical field and you work 12-hour shifts and you live alone, probably not the best time to have a puppy. So you just kind of got to be honest with yourself. Number 6. As I said before, you got to learn a lot, so you got to be open to that. I think most people like to think they are, but just make sure that you are, in fact, open to learning, because there's just so much that you're going to learn that you thought you knew about dogs that isn't true. One of my favorites is, oh, look at the dog. He likes me. His tail's wagging. No, not necessarily. That doesn't mean they like you. Dogs are not dumb. They will use it as a trick. So always be willing to learn. If some of you have been watching along with Lotus and his training, especially, I pretty much have shifted all the pup videos to their channel, but I used to do a lot on my channel, and a lot of that was reactive training. With Lotus, it was First, let's figure out why he's being reactive. Turns out in his case, it is fear-based. It's not aggression-based or anything like that, which is good because we can work through it. But we had to learn that, and it took us a while. It took us time with the trainer, and we had to do different scenarios. I have a video on this that we did a long time ago where basically we had to take him to the park with not strangers. They were family members, just family members he really wasn't that familiar with, and did some different testing to see how he would react around other dogs and other people when it was us or when it was them, and we went around in different scenarios, so we were able to roll that out. Took a lot of hours of learning before we could really figure out where to go next, and now we still work on. Thanks. And now we still work on this. Seriously. Oh. Where'd your ball go? What, were you feeling left out? Number 7. Everybody likes to send the poop emoji. Do you want to deal with it in real life? Because puppies, they poop a lot. They pee a lot. They pee on themselves. They have accidents. They throw up. They get sick. They get muddy. They get wet. You know, as I mentioned, we got Lotus. Lotus is a little over a year old. So we're heading into fall. And there were so many times, especially in the mornings or really just any time, you know, fall time in the Midwest is a lot of wet. The ground just always seems to be wet. And we'd go out to go potty or something, or go to the park for a short trip, come back, and, you know, Enzo, basically from like his elbows down, is kind of wet and muddy. Yet somehow Lotus, all of him. Come on. Aw, there it is. He falls down. I mean, puppies, they fall. They're clumsy. And he would literally just like wipe out and then be upside down in the wet and the mud. And so it'd take me 5 minutes to wipe Enzo down after our park trip, and it would take me 20 minutes to wipe Lotus down. Yeah, I feel good. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the good rub downs. Ears, that's good. This ear, the ear, get it all dry. The other side. Oh yeah. Oh, you gonna eat me? Oh, God bless you. Also, if you saw the intro, the little Breyers, the little prickly things like that. I mean, just little nonsense things that you would have never thought you had to deal with. Number 8, money. Yes, money. What are you looking for? It doesn't matter if you get some fancy working line German Shepherd that's thousands of dollars. It doesn't matter if you get a free one from the shelter or like the $50 adoption fee. It doesn't matter. Pups are expensive, no matter how you do it. You know, all these pup toys here, we have an entire bin of them upstairs as well. I mean, I don't know how many that is, 20, 30, 40, plus the ones upstairs, 40, 50 toys. I mean, even if you just figured $5 a toy, that's a lot of money. Adds up quick. And they're not $5. Vet bills. Vet bills are going to add up. Chewy. If you don't have a pet, unless you've seen the commercials, you may not even know what Chewy is. We have their pet food on auto ship-ish. Whether we get it from Chewy, Amazon, Walmart, wherever, you know, sometimes one of them's out of stock or something. It's over $100 every time we place an order, and it's more than once a month. It's usually about every 3-ish weeks. I mentioned the no sleep thing, right? You like that toy? Now I'm saying you have to be... Thank you. Bless you. Thanks. Make Enzo play. Now, I'm not saying you got to be Rockefeller here, but vet bills, toys, food, it adds up. It adds up quickly. And if you've ever been to like a pet ER, that can do some damage real fast. Training, leashes. Multiple collars, leashes. You know, we've probably got like 4 or 5 different leashes, harnesses. Raincoats. Squeaky squeak. Squeaky squeak. Number 9. You and your family are on the same page. Now, if you're single, living alone, consult with yourself and move on. But if you've got a spouse, if you've got kids, if you've got extended family that unfortunately lives really close to you, you gotta have everybody on the same page as far as what to do, what to expect, you know, schedules, responsibilities, who's gonna do what. You don't wanna be training your pup to do one thing, you know, keeping them squared off in the living room every day when you're home, but then your spouse comes home and they block them in the bedroom because that's where they wanna hang out, or the basement or something. Like, you guys need to be on the same page with that sort of stuff. Buddy, your tail is whacking the camera. Buddy, your tail, it's whacking the camera. You don't even like that toy. You're just pretending. Seriously, you're stepping on my notes. You're in the bubble. This is not on the list, but you should invest in lamp rollers. And number 10, this would kind of fall under the category of professionals. Find the right one. So find the right vet. Find a good trainer. Uh-oh, did it break? Uh-oh, let me see. Oh. Okay, guess it fixed itself. You know, both you and your pup has to be comfortable with them. People tend to be very vocal when they go to somebody they don't like, so obviously reviews are helpful. Ask around, friends, family, if you have somebody that has a pup. And when all else fails, just gotta do your own research. You know, no matter how good the breeder is, you wanna get your pup into the vet real quick, so you wanna have that ahead of time. And then training, we're huge advocates for training. There's so much you can learn in that. I just think it's invaluable. And one of the things you can do is like a puppy consultation. Like, our trainer won't take them any younger than 5.5 months, but you can bring them in way sooner than that and do a puppy consult where they just kind of go over some basics and some things you can do. Things like nipping and jumping and little things, little practices and such. And I think that's good for people, really, more than anything. Also, generally speaking, if you pay for something, follow through with it more. I could sit here and tell you free training tips, and you might do them. Some of you will, most of you won't. But if you pay for these training tips and you actually have to commit time and money to it, you're way more likely to follow through with it, which is going to be better for you and your pup. If you have a pup that's well behaved, it's going to be a better life for you and them because you're going to be happier with them and you're going to be more willing to do stuff. I hate when I see people that I know have dogs out places and they don't take them with them because it's like too much hassle and stuff. You know, that's one of the things we didn't want. We wanted to be able to take them places. Oh, you finally calmed down since I'm done? Oh, you got the calms now? That's convenient. Seriously, you're gonna calm down now? Oh, no, we're rested. We're ready to go. You boys got anything to add? Got anything to say, pup? How about you, pup? All right, that's gonna do it for this video. Subscribe for more content every Friday. I am thinking about maybe doing a second video a week, maybe more of like a vlog style. I used to do these more on my personal channel. There's still a lot of them there if you want to go check some of those out. The link's below. I don't really do pup videos on my channel anymore. And because of that, and because I'm only doing one here, I haven't really done any vlogs with them for the last couple weeks. And I don't know if that'd be something you guys would be interested in, or if you just kind of prefer like the tips and the helpful information. So I don't know. I know this video and the last video, I kind of put like a little vlogish intro into them. But did you lose it? Oh, you got it? Okay. So let me know in the comments below. Other than that, appreciate you guys as always. And we'll see you next week, right? Right? Oh, say bye? Go say bye? Oh, say bye? Say bye, say bye.